These people live in the Angwa Basso Dupa community in the Nigerian capital. They are believed to be members of the very poor and vulnerable households in Abuja. Many of them live on less than $1 a day and have no means of income. It's people like these who are being added to the National Social Register. The database will help target government interventions at the right communities.
This program na community-based targeted program. Wetin I dey think be say no be we dey outside go come tell you na wetin na go do, or we go come here come collect names tell you say na this one go enter, na this one go enter the database. Na una wey dey this community go give us names of people wey dey meet the criteria wey we go tell you na.
7 million households have already been added to the register. That's 30 million people. But the process of identifying those eligible has often been criticized and is shrouded in corruption allegations. There are claims of community heads receiving bribes to include names of people on the list. Residents are now taking matters into their own hands, splitting into groups to recognize the very poor and vulnerable amongst themselves. The National Social Safety Net Coordinating Office has been creating awareness on the Nigerian government's plans and programs aimed at alleviating sufferings of very poor Nigerians and vulnerable Nigerians. In this community members, as you can see here, having splitted in groups, the men are here deliberating on what they feel is poor and who they feel are poor people in this community. The youths are also over there deliberating on the same issue, trying to find out what they understand by people being poor and who is poor. This community now has lists of the very poor and vulnerable amongst themselves. These will be added to one working list. The head of a household whose name appears on all three lists gets included in the working list. Some community members are optimistic.
The list there is perfectly done because we in the community selected the people that we feel the government should help, and we appreciate the government if they really come to our aid, because those people we selected, they really need the help of the government as well. I believe what our own president is doing now, we're appreciating him, and I believe he will also reach to our own turn, because we're seeing it in televisions, and I want to use this privilege also to appreciate him for his own what he's doing. I will pray also he should extend it to other people, not only us. There are other people in interior places who also need such helps.
We have the confidence because we know if government did not approve this thing to come to pass, I know that they will not, but we know that since they have done it, and we believe and I have confidence that they will do it. And I also pray that let God touch their hearts so that they can able to reach us to do what they say they will do.
Getting your name on the working list isn't the end of the process. The houses of the selected residents are then numbered. For state authorities, there couldn't have been a more open process.
The process we have seen here, as far as this one is concerned, I think is perfect. If they ask neighboring communities or neighboring area council, this is Gwagwalada Area Council. We have been in Kwali for the first 2-3 years in Kwali, so people have benefited. So the assurance is that we are only after getting the social register in this community, because we have so many different interventions that are coming up. There is the cash transfer, the federal government cash transfer that is already there. There is also NKS that is coming up, a World Bank project with the federal government, a kind of collaboration with the federal government is coming up. There is UN Women program that is also coming up. There is RRR, that is Rapid Response Register Establishment, that is coming up. Also, is the federal government is funding that. Those that the communities we have entered for piloting, they have already started benefiting. And there is also UNDP project that they are looking for. So we have so many interventions, different interventions that are waiting for us to establish the social register.
Yes, so the purpose of the numbering is to identify the physical spaces where those households identified here live. So you'll find officials go from house to house. I mean, the houses that have been that have the final list on the harmonized group of households here. So officials will go and make markings on those, on their houses, the physical houses where they live. Next will be a team of enumerators who will now come to those houses and use the markings made to identify it and go into those houses to get the data of the households. They'll take information like the household size, the names of household members, their age distribution, the education status of the members of the household, the sort of vocations they are involved in. It's a whole gamut of data, which makes it easy for those who want to use a register to zoom in on the particular demographic they are looking for an intervention.
Those on the National Social Register will form part of the 100 million people the Nigerian government says it will lift out of poverty in the next 10 years. While residents are hopeful, there are concerns that the poverty reduction strategy could be hijacked by politicians. Abel Ejike, Horizon.